Hello everybody, it's me, Nate, aka Devildo99, and I'm back with my top 10 games of 2020. That's right, it was a big hit last year, so I decided to bring it back, mainly because I seem to pick games that a lot of people actually don't, even though a lot of these you're gonna pick nonetheless. But nonetheless, I have to point out a couple things before I get into this top 10. You may notice a couple games that are not in this top 10, and that's because I based it off of a cutoff point of a certain time in December when I was going to pick my top 10. So that's the reason why there's a couple games that did not make this list, and currently for other reasons as well. But this is what my personal top 10 picks are for top 10 best games of 2020 that I experienced. Please keep in mind, yours could be completely different, and that's perfectly fine. Everybody's allowed to like their own different games. But in the end, as long as we're having fun playing the games, that's all that really matters, right people? But here it is, my list of top 10 games of 2020. Number 10.
Final Fantasy VII Remake. The 2020 action role-playing game Remake from Square Enix features the return of Cloud Strife and company as they fight the evil Shinra Corporation. Now, unlike the original, this multi-part episodic title features all real-time battles. With dynamic control, great visuals, and a healthy yet undeniable tweak to the overall original title's story, it, despite a hefty backlash, was a well-received and well-playing title. Hopefully, the future installments will streamline the story, add a fantastic open-world map to explore the grand world, but only time will tell if this episodic endeavor was a good choice or just a cash grab excuse to split it up into multiple parts. The overall plot, the multi-part decision, and a long wait ahead to enjoy the whole story is why Final Fantasy VII Remake
lands at number 10 on my top 10 games of 2020. Number 9.
Dreams. Developed by Media Molecule and released on February 14th of 2020, Dreams focused on providing a suite of deep software allowing players to craft just about anything that they desired. From music, animation, to even full-length gaming experiences, the Dreams software allows the creator the ability to do just about anything as long as the player is willing to put in the work. From different game jams they have hosted to even the implementation and support of VR, Media Molecule stands fast to keep adding content and tools to Dreams. And so far, it is quite amazing the amount of quality content to be found with this unique title. And that's why Dreams is my number 9 pick for top 10 games of 2020. Number 8. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remaster. This remaster of the first 2 games in the Tony Hawk series added several new additions to the mix from later titles, including the Spine Transfer, the Revert, and the Wall Plant. The game's levels were also meticulously recreated with a new game engine from the ground up. Every single spot you know and love from the original game 1 and 2 returns in glorious modern retake. Now, the package retains all of the charm of the originals, including the glorious Creator Park mode, the online and split-screen modes, along with updated characters and even new modified hidden characters, and even new music. This is a proper way to update a classic game series, keeping all the nuanced controls but tweaking it in just the right balance of new and old makes Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remaster give the perfect amount of nostalgia to older players while introducing a new audience to the same great game. This is why Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remaster lands at number 8 on my list of top 10 games of 2020. Number 7. Resident Evil 3 Remake. Developed by Capcom, this remake follows in the footsteps of the fantastic remake of Resident Evil 2 by using the same great game engine and adding some unique twists to the original version. While many said it felt like a cash grab rush job with its shorter game length, a lack of unique boss battles, and a loss of the player choices from the original, it was still a great fun time despite the scripted nemesis encounters. Now, the addition of the Carlos sections and the shallow but still kind of fun resistance online mode was a decent addition. Now, the main fun with this game was the overall replayability of the main story. Being able to unlock weapons and other gear for different speed runs made it a way fun time to play multiple times. But despite its flaws, I still like this title, and that's why it lands at number 7 on my top 10 games of 2020. Number 6. The Last of Us Part 2. Naughty Dog's sequel to the smash hit The Last of Us features two main playable characters, the fan favorite Ellie and the polarizing character Abby, as the story picks up 4 years after the end of the original, where now Joel and Ellie live their life in a settlement in Jackson, Wyoming. As you play through this epic tale of revenge, the gameplay is fantastically top-notch, adding in new mechanics to the mix as the polarizing tale plays out. With beautiful and morbid levels throughout, this game, despite its flaws in character development and poor story direction, it definitely still warrants a playthrough. Only a complete playthrough though. But despite its problems throughout development hell, Last of Us 2 still lands decently up on my list at number 6 on my top 10 games of 2020. Number 5. Animal Crossing New Horizons. This fifth entry in the long-running Animal Crossing series has you creating a character and moving to a deserted island after you kinda get on a money hit list, Tom Nook. A global hit with its real-time non-linear activities, you go around crafting, hunting, building, and more as you turn the once lonely island into a bustling community of anthropomorphic animals. More than just a commercial hit, ACNH has become the 28th best-selling game in history with the huge acclaim across the board, and it is the best pick for the 2020 Game Awards Game of the Year. With a massive fan base, great customization options, and an easy but majorly addictive gameplay loop, Animal Crossing New Horizons is an enjoyable title throughout, and that's why it has reached number 5 on my top 10 games list of 2020. By the way, screw you, Tom Nook! Number 4. Half-Life Alyx. This first-person VR title by Valve is set between the events of the original Half-Life and its sequel Half-Life 2, featuring Alyx Vance on an epic mission to steal a Combine superweapon. The graphics and most importantly the control of this VR title is top-notch. Solving puzzles, shooting, fighting, and exploring, this is visually stunning throughout, and it's only part of this game's charm. The implementation of the gravity gloves, which are used very similar to the gravity gun from the original games, makes for a great experience. From a foreboding atmosphere, great level design, and a clever implementation of the controls, this title, while still not being Half-Life 3 we've been waiting for years, is still a very well-polished and hefty-sized VR experience in short bursts. And that's why Half-Life Alyx lands on my number 4 of my top 10 games of 2020. Number 3. SpiderMan Miles Morales. With the story picking up a year after the events of the first game, you play as Miles Morales as he takes over duties of protecting the city after Peter Parker decides to go on a well-deserved vacation. Naturally, a new threat emerges, known as the Underground, and this high-tech group is out to destroy Roxxon, the new energy conglomerate. And while many people have said that they feel that this title is more of an expansion than a standalone adventure, due to its shorter game length, The new variety in boss battles, the new movesets for Miles, the new Christmas setting in the city, and all the different side quests, along with the epic set-piece moments and a great overall story, lead to a high enjoyment level for this well-polished title, and that's why SpiderMan Miles Morales lands at number 3 on my top 10 games of 2020. Number 2. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. A direct sequel to the 2015 original title, this epic, beautiful adventure takes place immediately after the events of the original game, with you once again playing as Ori, and with updated visuals, new abilities, and the introduction of a new auto-saving system instead of using the soul links. But don't worry, it's just as daunting and challenging with its Metroidvania-style gameplay and platform puzzles as ever before. And with the introduction of new NPC side quests and spirit trials, it adds even more to an already impressive and immersive title. With gorgeous art style, great animation, a fast and frantic gameplay, all wrapped in a wonderfully narrated story, Ori and the Will of the Wisps is a fantastic sequel to an already great original game, and that's why this game lands at my number 2 on my top 10 games of 2020. And finally, number 1 is Ghosts of Tsushima. This epic story of Jin Sakai, one of the last surviving members of the Sakai clan after the brutal invasion of the Mongols in 1274 of the island of Tsushima, is a tale of suffering, honor, and redemption. Traveling the grand world, saving villages and people, doing missions and defeating the Mongol horde, all while evolving as a character that comes to a divisive state, realizing the only way to defeat the evil Khotun Khan and save Tsushima will require him and his companions to go against their very long-taught beliefs in honor and learn new techniques to survive that goes against Jin's beliefs. But he knows adopting the ways of the Mongols themselves is the only way to win this war. And while he does succeed in the end, it costs him many friends, the trust of his ward Lord Shimura, and the loss of even being a samurai, turning him into the Ghost of Tsushima. Sucker Punch's dark, brutal, and riveting tale of Jin's journey to save his land is epic in scope, brilliantly directed, and plays masterfully. The swordplay is top-notch, graphics are jaw-dropping, and hands down is one of the best games I've played in a long time. And with the fact that they gave you free DLC that adds multiplayer, co-op, and even a new Game Plus mode with new abilities, it's hands down my number 1 pick for Game of the Year. And like I said, it's also my number 1 pick for top 10 games of 2020.
So, there was my top 10 games of 2020. Which ones were your favorites? Did you end up picking the same ones that I did? What was your number 1 game that you played in 2020? Because it's been one hell of a sucky year, and hopefully in the future things will get brighter and bigger and better than ever before. And in the end, you have to admit, there's been some great games that we got, and there's lots of great games that are going to be coming out soon. So, let me know in the comments of what you thought of my picks of my top 10. Leave your top 10 picks in the comments below. Make sure to hit the bell icon to stay updated when I release any new videos. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and remember people, I always end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember people, the devil is in the details. Peace out until next time.